Welcome to my quest guide on the Battle of Fort Foundry. Accept the quest and you will need to have completed the Ancient Awakening, unlocked the Grove Cabin Tier 1, and the Botanist Workbench Tier 1, along with 60 Necromancy and, of course, your best possible weapons and style. For this, I will be using Necromancy, and Raptor will immediately give you a little tutorial of how it runs down, in which case the first area is Little Wolf, and you want to kill him, which is directly north of the castle. To the west of him is another portal, and lastly, the third portal is to the south, in which case this is going to be a very easy fight because it is story mode, in which case you take reduced amount of damage, making this an extremely easy quest to do. I am doing a bit of the dialogue right now just in case there is something important, but luckily there isn't. Once you have done the dialogue, you want to go north through the gate. Once north, your camera angle changes horribly bad for whatever reason, so just click on it and he'll bring us automatically to the first ritual site, pretty much like the warbands, where we have to kill the boss. So attack the wolf, but keep in mind the nearby NPCs guarding the boss will attack you, but because this is story mode, you do not have anything to fear. Just simply soul split and kill them. If you want, you can use Threads of Fate while attacking the boss, and then use Soul Strike, Soul Sap, and Volley of Souls to pretty much get rid of the minions. In which case, after the boss is dead, you want to click on the middle site to disperse the damage. Raptor will then drag you west. And then because I do have the little NPCs still attacking me, you can kill them or continue to the second ritual site, in which case there is another boss. Now, because there is a lot of monsters on me, you can reflect, but remember, this is story mode, so it's pretty much very easy to do. Once that boss is dead, click the ritual site and we'll be going to the third and final spot. For future references, after you do the quest, you're able to repeat this whole process, but if you kill this ritual site, the boss, and dispersed it, you will automatically start the boss fight. So for those that want to go for like speed runs, you are able to do this. And then, as you can tell, this is extremely easy as I have not used any food. Once you click on the last site, it will automatically go to the next cutscene. So if you are low on health, you are able to get out of combat, and then if you have the persistent rage relic, you're able to gain adrenaline. Afterwards, after the cutscene, we will be attacking Vorkath, which should spawn right there. Now this is going to be the world's most easiest boss fight, and that is because Raptor will be tanking all of the hits. So pretty much you just can AFK with a revolution bar, or just like manually attack to speed up the kill a lot faster. Just make sure to use death skulls and living death as much as possible, along with volley of souls once you do have those 5 stacks. The rest of the boss fight will be pretty much AFK until we attack Zemouregal. So I'll be back in a couple of seconds. And we're back. The dragon is almost defeated, in which case he will fly away and we'll be attacking the boss. Now for this one, Raptor kind of helps us, but Zemouregal attacks us, the player, in which case now we actually have to pay attention. But don't worry, Soul Split will easily allow us to not die, and then just go use all your thresholds, as this boss will not do any good special attacks, in which case you could just, again, AFK it, but the boss has a lot less health. After that, we will appear in front of the raptor, in front of his guardhouse, back in the fort of Forinthry. Afterwards, he'll tell us that we will want to investigate and talk to the 5 groups of players. Now, I did mess up and I accidentally attempted to go up the stairs because I had no idea where those NPCs were at first, until I did realize right here that I was like, oh, okay, so we just need to talk to the chef, in which case we go through a bit of the dialogue, and then we will have found 1 out of 5 groups. Then make your way to the chapel, and we'll be talking to the NPC there. Now you can spacebar it, but since I did speed this up a little bit, I was also reading the dialogue at the same time. And then you want to go right here, east of the command center, and you'll notice that there is a trapdoor by the NPCs. So keep a note on that, as we will be using it a little bit later. And now go inside the command center and talk to the 2 NPCs there. Bill is honestly my favorite NPC out of this whole quest line, because most of the time he just wants to relax, and then people are like, oh, we need another building. He's like, what? So he constantly has to think from time to time. Now, lastly, speak to Overseer Civ within the guardhouse, and that will be 5 out of 5 groups, in which case you will need to speak to the raptor afterwards. You'll discover that a few fort guards were killed, in which case when you talk to the raptor, she says, oh well, just make sure to repair the fort, as it is weakened on the west side, completely ignoring the NPCs that have died. So make your way north, and we'll be speaking to Bill. He is found in the northwest of the room, and then when you do talk to him, he will say that his stash was destroyed. However, like any good construction worker, he does have a backup, in which case you will need to make 4 inventory spaces and make your way to the east. So in my case, I had full inventory of rocktails because the Vorkath Fight was so much easier than I thought it would be, that I end up eating the food. And then right here, again, just make sure to only get 4 stone wall segments, as I kind of dismantled them without knowing you only needed 4. Instead, I kind of filled up my full inventory. Once you have the 4, you want to make your way to the west wall, and we'll be repairing the 4 hotspots. That is just directly north. So click on 1, and now for most of my quest guides, I do have a long pause, and that's because while we are building this, there's nothing to do, but I do like to make real-time guides, in which case if you see an 18-minute video, you 100% know it is 18 minutes. For this purpose, you're able to skip to 11 minutes and 15 seconds in the video. Otherwise, I'll be silent the whole time, since this is a real-time guide. And we're back. Once the fourth and final hotspot has been successfully fixed, you want to go to the town hall, which is just directly east. Now, I did accidentally speak to both Bill and King Ronald. However, you want to speak to Overseer Civ, which is pretty much just directly south of us. Right here. You'll pretty much tell Overseer Civ that yes, to hit option 1 to commence the final feast. In which case, the nearby NPCs will thank us and they will tell us a story pretty much about why they want to do it and why they're thankful for it. In which case, you are able to just spacebar this whole thing or read through the fancy dialogue. My most favorite dialogue would have to be with Bill. After a bit of dialogue, the players will finally end the feast. However, they will say to go and speak to the raptor as they did not attend the party and we will want to make sure that they are doing just fine. So, head south and speak to the raptor. Afterwards, we will discover that we need to go and interrogate Zemouregal, who is located to the east at the trapdoor I did mention earlier. Inside it, but on the east outside there will be a floor hatch, in which case that is where you want to enter. And from here, you want to make your way west and speak to Zemouregal. However, I did examine or try to right click a couple items just to see. And then of course I did do the guards, which case it does say that maybe one day there will be a fortnight. So, speak to Zemouregal and he says you are foolish and good luck trying to interrogate me. However, he is a little bit of a chatterbox and we end up having to do nothing. In which case, we want to go through a little dialogue and he says, oh yeah, nothing new. Even if Guthix chose us, we're a pawn. Without Guthix, we are nothing. And we're only just a fool who's running a castle. And because of that, Zemouregal was weakened by Moria, as we did discover in the previous quest line. In which case, Zemouregal was like, wait a minute, I need to stop telling you everything. And he's like, I won't be tricked so easily. And then your character's like, well, this is an easy interrogation. I wish all of them were. In which case, we do fortify the gate with our nomadic power. In which case, he's like, well, darn. And with that, we'll get a nice little cutscene about a forgotten warrior who does speak to Moa, but he does say something. He does says, yes, Domina. So I'm not sure if that's like a reference or something to another, or if that's like her name in a sense. And then Zemouregal did surrender, in which case Moa was like, oh, of course he did. Well, we have several other people that would be interested, in which case we shall see Belratch. And with this cutscene, we have completed the Battle of Fort Foundry. For an XP lamp for 30,000 XP, you have access to Zemouregal and the Zemouregal boss fight, which is pretty much found in the town hall. And of course, I did get a lot of pop-ups, and we now have 449 quest points. The lamp does not have a right click, so you can just click it and you'll get the XP. But for future fights, you want to see this statue right here, and this is how you start the boss fight. With that, thank you all so much for watching and enjoy the rest of the day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below any other video suggestions you would like me to do, and enjoy the rest of your day.